What up, dude? Welcome to the Boss Up All Out podcast, your trusted source for Detroit Lions news and rumors. It's your man, Kurt Steele. Hey, on today's show, we preview the Lions Week 2 game versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, preseason game. Please do me a favor. Share the video, like the video with other Detroit Lions fans just like yourself. If you like the content, subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 2,000 subscribers. We're currently at 1,679. So go ahead and join us and become a part of the Boss Up family. Coach Dan Thornton from Lions Talk Live will be joining the show around 8:15. So if you're new to our channel and don't know how we get down here, this is how it works. We look at Detroit Lions news, rumors, headlines, and takes. If we agree, we say they are bossed up. If we disagree, we say they are balled on. Well, and we give our take on why we agree or disagree. But during live shows, it's a little different. I want you guys in the comments to say hashtag bossed up if you agree and hashtag balled on if you disagree, and tell me why. And I'll put your comments on the screen and we'll talk about it together. Now, let's look at the topics for today's show. Like I discussed here in the opening, we're going to look at players who need to step up on offense in this preseason game versus the Kansas City Chiefs. And then we look at who can crack the bubble on defense and which starters may play on Saturday. Coach Dan Campbell, in his interview the other day with 97 on the ticket, he hinted to some players that may be going to go on Saturday, some starters, that is. But hey, let's kind of get into the chat right quick to say good morning to everyone before we hop into the topics for the day. All right, first up, we got Dennis Tiddick says, what up, dude? What's going on, man? We appreciate you. All right, then we got my man Brent DeWitt's in the building. Good morning, brother. Good morning, my Army brother. Salute to my veterans out there. Bo Booth's in the building. What up, dude? Ray Me. Morning, bosses. Appreciate it. Broski Barry, man. What up? What up back in North Carolina? That's right. I'm back in the Carolinas, baby. Mike K says, what up, dude? Okay, what's going on? AK Hutch Jr. What's going on, Hutch Jr., man? Hi, good to see you, brother. Gotta have you on the show. Good morning, Doe. JP, what's going on, man? All right, Lions bad guy fan John New York. I guess what it says. Let's go, Lions, raw. Okay, what's going on? Bo Booth, Lions bubble is smaller and tighter than it's ever been. That's correct, brother. All right, we got Brent DeWitt said DPJ needs a big game. We're gonna talk about him in a minute. And good morning, Kurt from the Lady Lions. So let's get into our first topic of today is what players need to step up for the offense in this preseason game. The training camp is over. Yesterday was the last day of training camp. So the opportunities for players to make the Lions initial 53-man roster are very limited. I look at some players on offense that I still need to step up in this week's game versus the Kansas City Chiefs to make the team. First up, and like you just mentioned, Donovan's Peoples-Jones reports out of the My Performance Center are that he's had a good week of practice. He needed it after that poor outing he had versus the Giants. The fact that he was traded for last season and was the type of wide receiver that many people, including Ben Johnson, are saying is needed for the Detroit Lions offense. He's a big body receiver. He can catch 50-50 balls. And that's one of the primary reasons he needs to step up on Saturday. Brad Holmes took a chance and re-signed him this offseason with Josh Reynolds being in Denver. There are opportunities for him to have a bigger role on the team. He just got to do it, man. He got to step up, man. This guy was a high draft pick coming out of Michigan, and he had a good career over at Cleveland, but I'm looking at him like, what's going on in Detroit? I don't know if he's too relaxed because he's back home, but got to step it up, brother. All right, Kobe Sorsdal, man, this guy, he just had a bad game last week versus the Giants, man. It was just terrible. Drafted him last year to come in and play guard, from moving in from tackle, and pretty much last season, Yodi outplayed this guy. And I think he's outplaying him again this year. Now, I know he's only a second-year player, and he's a veteran on that offensive line. It needs to play better. With the starting guards that we have are a little long in the tooth, Now he could be called upon to play some meaningful snaps this season. Guy gets dinged up a little bit and they want to hold him out. He's not a rookie anymore, and he can't use that youth as an excuse for bad play. So that's another guy I feel that needs to step up in this game versus the Kansas City Chiefs. And then Hendon Hooker is the leader in the clubhouse at backup quarterback right now. He just makes the offense move a little better than Nate Sudfeld, because Nate Sudfeld sucked. Some people call him Suckfeld, but he was really bad in that game versus the Giants. Jake Fromm, new guy. Him and Sudfeld are battling for that quarterback 3 spot or a spot on the practice squad, in my opinion. Sudfeld played poorly, and on poorly. He's on the bubble now. He moved from being the quarterback 2 to on the bubble. Now, Fromm is a new guy. Strong college pedigree coming out of Georgia, but he hasn't done much in the pros, moved around a lot. I think whoever plays the best on Saturday may find themselves on this roster. Hey, do me a favor. Like the video, share the video, and comment on the video, man. Let's kind of look at what you guys have to say about this topic. Boss up if you agree with some of the guys, DPJ. Ball on if you disagree. So let's go on. Let's get back into this chat and talk about some of these guys that's definitely on the roster. Brent DeWitt said, yeah, he needs to up his game. Yeah, he definitely will find his way out. All right, Buddy Kinkato, excuse me. Morning, Kurt. Good morning. How you doing? Bruce Belly, man, what's going on, Bruce? Man, good to see you. All right, Bo Boo, what do you mean by that? Please explain. Okay, well, we'll see. DPJ Reynolds Fountain, I guess, need to step up, definitely. Broski, that's what he was saying to you. All right, the Bo Boo, the talent level is better than ever. There are a few spots that are being contested. Okay, that's what he's saying. Okay. Oh, so we got it right. Dave Perry says, good morning, all. Good greeting, all. Man, good morning. How you doing? All right, Broski, what you talking about, man? You were saying, Bubble, I was thinking window. I mean, the Lions' window to win is smaller than ever, which is also true, by the way. I don't think so, but you know what, Broski? You gonna do what you gonna do, man. So have your opinion. I think the Lions' window is gonna be open for quite a few years, man. Yeah. I think this year is not the only year, so I don't get that. Okay, Willie Gault. Yeah, Willie Gault was a good player, but he just never lived up to potential. All right. Dimitri Stewart said, Kurt, what up, though, Flintstone? What's up, baby? What's going on, Flintstone? Y'all know how we get down there in Bedrock, man. Hey, I got to come visit you guys in Bedrock here really real soon. All right, Bo Boo says, Greyhound Goat. Yeah. Laughing out loud. Boss up, Bo knows. That's right. All right, saying the Lions window is closed is crazy. Yeah, Mike Hutch Jr., man. But that's Broski, man. He gonna say whatever it is to make the Bears look good. Man, most times. Even though he is critical of his Bears, he is critical of his Bears. I have to say that. Perhaps quarterback 3 is not here yet. You know what, Bruce? I think you may be right. I think that quarterback 3 may not be here yet. He may be on the roster. You know what I'm saying? He may not be on the roster yet. It may be one of those things we got to go ahead and go out and sign this guy. All right, what up, though? What's good, Boss Up family? From Dimitri Scott, my man. Joseph C says, what up, Kurt, man? What's going on, brother? What up, though? Boss Up definitely on that take, man. I believe you. I believe those guys, man. All those guys that I mentioned for the offense, they have to step up. DPJ is definitely one of those guys where I believe that it's disappointing to see that he hasn't been a better player for the Detroit Lions. Hey, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this Lions content with other fans just like yourself or other football fans. They don't have to be Lions fans. It's if they like football. We like talking football here on the Boss Up All Out podcast. So, my heart goes out to JJ McCarthy over there for Minnesota, man. I hate to see that for the young fella. I know he's a Michigan guy. I'm a huge Michigan fan, but I don't want to see any young player get hurt like that, especially going to the rookie season. So much promise, man. You know, we don't have to face him now because he was definitely looking promising, better in camp than people gave him credit for. But I look at that situation, man. I feel bad for that young fella, man. All right, let's go over to the defensive side of the ball because we got to look at the offense, and then we have to definitely look at the defense, man. And for me, it's time to shift over to the defense. I looked at the rosters and the reports out of Allen Park to see what players I believe that can burst that roster bubble and make the team. Brandon Joseph can play his way onto this roster with another stellar preseason performance against the Chiefs. His interception last week led to the only score of the game versus the Giants. Now, Brandon Joseph has consistently been where he's supposed to be in coverage, making plays all over the field. There's one picture going around on social media by some Giants fans. I don't know what the hell they're looking at because they were saying Malik Neighbors was open on a play, but it was covered too. And you definitely see Ennis Rakestraw playing underneath. But what they clipped out of the photo was Brandon Joseph shaded over the top in coverage and would have been an easy interception if the quarterback threw the ball. Now, there may be two Josephs at safety in Detroit in 2024, Brandon and Kirby. Man, that'd be a good, I think that'd be a good, I won't say a 1-2 punch, but it'd be a good, like a backup if they have that at safety. I think that Brandon Joseph is playing his way onto this roster. With Emmanuel Mosley going down, there's an open cornerback spot on the roster, and Kendall Vildor can snatch it up. Vildor has played well in the last couple of practices when asked to join the starters due to injury. Now, I'm not saying he's going to start. I'm just saying he has a chance to make the roster. He had a great play yesterday. Go check it out over there on social media on the Lions, especially on their X handle. Great play yesterday in the last day of camp, breaking up a pass meant for the Sun God from JG. His coverage on St. Brown was tight, and he made a great play on the ball. Vildor can play in man coverage, which can help him make the roster. You know, Aaron Glenn's defense has very man coverage reliant. So if you look at this, how the roster is constructed, he has a chance to definitely make this roster playing at cornerback. And then last but not least, rewatching the Lions-Giants game last week, there was one defensive end that stood out time after time, and I watched this game, and it was edge rusher Isaac Okuwu. I think I'm saying his name right. Please don't butcher me if I said it wrong. He got pressure constantly on the Giants quarterbacks, and he had a sack. His play has put him over players like Matthew Betts and Mitchell Agude. I think I'm saying that wrong. Excuse me. Don't butcher me again. But he has a great spin move, and that's quite as great as Hutch, but it's not far off. He has a really good spin move, and with some more development and coaching from Terrell Williams and company, he definitely can find himself on this roster. So, looking at the guys on the defensive side of the ball, do you think these guys can make the roster? Give me a boss up or a balled on in the comments, man. So let's look at these guys, man. All right, nothing but the smoke is in the building, but let me get back up here to Al Torrey. Says good morning, Kurt and Lions fans. Good morning. Mo Tom Mitchell's in the building. Said Dennis, that's just Bears fans. Hey man, Broski Bear gonna be in the building, man. I definitely like my man Broski, man. Don't ever change Broski. All right. Joseph C says yes. Prayers for McCarthy and family. Yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Didn't improve this offseason. That's got to be a comment from Broski. He's gonna be who he be, man. And you know, he has his analysis of what the Lions do, but you know, it is what it is. All right. To me, hangs on the ball way too long. It takes some sacks. Now I'm not worried about the Bears. They don't scare me. Okay, you know, that must be another conversation going on up there in the chat. So, but let's get back down to what we talk about. Boss up those players bursting that bubble. Nothing but the smoke. How you doing, man? All right, Brandon Joseph is a sleeper, definitely as a keeper. Brandon Joseph, boss up. Okay. We got you. My K. Bears, Packers, and Vikings wide receiver room was so much better than the Lions, and not even close. Reader was a waste of money. Second torn quad, passes prime, hasn't practiced yet. You know, all the stuff that Broski Bears like to say. All right, definitely. All right. Vildor is like tight end Jackie Smith of Dallas. Remember one bad play. Yeah, definitely. That one, and unfortunately, it bounced off his helmet. That was just a bad play, bounced off his face mask. All right, Joseph and Okuwu are bossed up, but Okuwu is harder time cracking the 53. I think I believe that he's going to have a harder time, but just because of the depth of defensive end on this roster. All right, Brandon Joseph is bossed up for real. He should get some playing time this year. All right, now it's time to bring in the man, the myth, the legend. Y'all know him from Lion Salt Live, man. I was just on his show. It's my man, Coach Dan. What's going on, brother?
What is happening, man?
Okay, man, we're going to cycle back through and have you get your opinion before we get to the last topic of the day. So let's get back into the first topic, man. These are some of the guys I think that should be stepping up to make in the preseason week 2 to kind of make this roster. So go ahead and give me your thoughts on Donovan Peoples-Jones, Kirby Sosdahl, and the backup quarterbacks. Are these guys the guys should be stepping up in week 2 of preseason?
All right, let's start with Donovan Peoples-Jones. I'm going to go with bossing up on him. I like the potential. Scoresdale too. I'm going to go bossing up. When it comes to Sudfield and From, they're probably balling on out of here. So I think they're going to be, they're going to be DJs, they're going to be bouncers and bartenders, whatever they're going to do. They're just going to be doing something other than working for the Detroit Lions. I like Donovan Peoples-Jones. I also like the fact he could help out, be a part of the kick return, punt return game. So he gives you that flexibility. We all know that the coaching staff for this regime wants. They want guys that can be Swiss Army knives, play all over the place. That's one of the reasons why I think Rodrigo's value to the team is through the roof. He can play fullback, tight end, linebacker, special teams. There's really no aspect of the game he doesn't affect. Peoples-Jones, he can be that big body wide receiver we want. He can add some stability to the depth of the roster. He's been I guess he's just been non-consistent, inconsistent, whatever you want to say so far. Really, I think he's one of the players with a lot riding on his future these next 10, 12 days. Scoresdale, he's young. He's developing. Sounds like the experiment of having him as a guard is probably done. They're going to leave him as just a right tackle. But if he can keep just pushing up, he's going to be, I think, fine. He'll make the team. As far as the other guys, I don't know, sort of like Tim Boyle. I never saw what this coaching staff saw in him. I have no idea what they see in Nate Sudfeld. I think I've seen enough of Nate Sudfeld, unless he wants to be a coach or, maybe work the pregame show with the Golden Tate or something like that. Maybe he'd be good at that, but his time here, I think it's limited. Jake from State Farm, I think he's just here to fill up some time, make some handoffs, get that fourth quarter clock turning, and just don't let anybody else get hurt. If he gets hurt, the team's probably going to be okay and live with it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, next topic. All right, go to the defense. Now, these are the guys I think that can crack the roster bubble. I think one guy is going to be safety Brandon Joseph, cornerback Kendall Vildor, who was on the roster last year, came in, especially when we had some injuries. And then Isaac Kubu. I'm looking at that guy, man. He's definitely stood out for me in the game against the Giants. Great spin move from the young fella. Constant pressure on quarterbacks. I know he was going to get the twos against the Giants offensive line, but he was making some plays. So what do you think about these three guys?
Joseph, I'm bossed up. I'm all over for him. If you remember him and John Ross, we had during OTAs and stuff like that, I was impressed with both of them. The Lions coaching staff clearly made a choice on Ross, let him go, and he's re-signed with somebody else. But as far as Brandon, I really like this kid, man. He's got that it factor. I also want you to watch his eyes and his footwork when you watch game film on him. He closes. He reads quarterbacks, especially if you're talking like a zone coverage type corner. Somebody's like the single high safety or a deep safety in maybe a Tampa 2, one of the sides. He reads and he reacts. He's got instincts, and that's something that's real tough to teach, especially when they get to this age, to the professional level. If they already have that, they're ahead of most people. So I think he's bossed up. He's going to make the team, especially with what's the name, Maurice Norris being hurt and cut. I think that's pretty much a sign that he is going to be the number 4 safety for us. He'll be backing up. Probably Kirby Joseph would be my guess. As far as the rest of them, Ukwu, I think is how you say it, but I could be way off with that. I like the guy. He's in a tough spot, though, because of the depth on the team. There is so much depth on this defensive line. He might make it to the practice squad, but I also say this. If he's there, somebody's probably going to snag him. The he's got some athleticism, and what I like is his 3-step move. So, going through OTAs or whatever, scouting combine, A lot of people, when it comes to defensive line, you pay attention to the 3-step technique, and the fact he can get from 0 to 80 miles per hour in 3 steps. You saw it against the Giants when he turns the corner and he's able to get rid of that last bit of blocking from the offensive tackle. He can spearhead right to the quarterback. He's got that it factor. I'd like to see him on the roster, but the problem is, who do you knock off to have him take that spot? And that's why I think he's going to end up on the practice squad, and he's probably going to be gone at that point. And then as far as Vildor, let's be honest, he's a pretty good backup corner. The problem is, everybody remembers one play where he just couldn't, for whatever reason. Maybe the sun was in his eyes, the bright lights from Candlestick Park or whatever it's called now. Maybe they just blocked him and distracted him enough where he couldn't catch it. Other than that, I thought he's actually not a bad pickup. Will he make the team? Probably because of Emmanuel Mosley. I'm bossed up on him as well. I think he's solid depth for us. But again, I like all the guys. I'm bossed up on all of them. As far as Ukwu, I just think he's going to be a practice squad guy, and he's not going to be here by the end of September. Somebody will take him.
Yeah, that's what, and most people in the chat agree with the Ukwu. That it's going to be hard for him just because of the depth on the roster. I just think that with his play, I think he moved in front of Betts and Aguda as well. So I just think that his play in that preseason game moved him up closer to the bubble than the other guys. That's just in my opinion. All right, last topic for today. All right, so we got some starters who may play versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Dan Campbell alluded to this the other day when he was talking to 97.1 to Ticket. He hinted that some of these guys may play, the starters may play on Saturday. He mentioned particularly some guys on the defensive line may play. My first guy, I think, that is the defensive lineman Levi Onwuzurike is a guy who has impressed in camp, and they may want to see if his improved play translate into gameplay and not just practice. Another guy, I think, and I put him up at the starter with an asterisk because at the beginning of the season, we know DJ Reader may not be available. So that's why I had him as a starter and not because I know he's a depth player, but the way he's been playing this offseason, he could be in that starting role for Reader to start the season. Another guy I think may get a couple snaps is Aleem McNeil. Now, don't jump on me. I know we don't want to play the starters too much, but the reason being is that he's been dealing with the injuries. And the coaches may want to just get him a couple of game reps, maybe a series, just to see how close he is to 100% heading into the season. That's one thing I looked at him as far as maybe a possibility because he did say defensive lineman. So, and then I'm looking at Khalif Raymond. I think he's wide receiver 3 on this roster. I talked about on your show just a little bit ago about his relationship with Jared Goff and how he can make plays down the field. But I don't think it's going to be on the offensive side of the ball for Khalif Raymond. I think it's going to be on special teams. It's because of the fact that Dave Phipp is still trying to work out some kinks with the new kick return rules, and we know Raymond is a kick returner, punt returner. And Khalil Dorsey is back there, one of those guys that does the same type of deal. So I think Raymond could see some action out there as a punt returner just to kind of get him ready for the season as well. But I don't think none of these guys play significant amount of snaps in the preseason. If we see them at all, it's going to be very limited action in the preseason. So looking at these guys, who would you think that do you think these guys will play? Give me a boss up or ball out on that. And then who do you think you're going to see on Saturday?
I'm bossed up on all 3 of them, but here's what I'll say. You and I are old enough to remember one of the greatest coaches in NFL history, and that's Wayne Fontes. Wayne Fontes always seemed to have an unfortunate situation where Barry Sanders would fall victim to the flu to like 15 minutes before game time in a preseason game. That's what I'd be doing with all 3 of these guys. I think you got an asterisk next to Levi, and I totally get why they would put him or Aleem or some other guys out there. Totally understand if they do. I'm balled out on them playing, though. I just don't want them getting any injury. Otherwise, we're all going to, as soon as one of them gets hurt, we're all going to be like, that was the stupidest move ever to have him out there. From a coaching standpoint, would I want him out there? Yes, just for the development. But I do think, just to throw the asterisk out there, I think there's a real strong chance you could see DJ Reader, Aleem McNeil, and Levi Onwuzurike starting games this year because the way they seem to be in practice this year or training camp, shifting that defensive line more to a 3-down lineman, almost a 3-4 look basically. So I think they've been alluding to that by listing Houston at times as a linebacker, even though we get now he's a defensive end again. Same with Marcus Davenport. Plus all the different type of linebackers they've been acquiring. That shows me they're trying to move more towards that direction, sort of like they did with the Saints, sort of like they've done at times each year that the AG's been running the defense. They've run basically a hybrid 3-4 look, and I think with Levi's emergence, along with you're seeing some flashes from Broderick Martin and Mekhi Wingo, they all fit the same mold. I think that's ultimately where we're going.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking at that. And you look at the way they're playing guys like Levi Onwuzurike and Wingo, Mekhi Wingo in practice. A lot of them up at defensive end, having the big ends, you know what I'm saying, with those big defensive tackles in the middle. It's going to be dangerous once we get this defensive line healthy, man. It's going to be some dangerous for some quarterbacks in the NFC and especially the North, man. It's going to get some guys. Going to be some slow slinging and some flower bringing when you got these big guys rolling on the defense.
Well, real quick, just around the point. So I think what they've been trying to do with the linebackers and what they're trying to do with the defensive front, since they seem to be moving more towards a 3-4, they want to have those front big three guys generate blocks where they're opening up the lanes. We know AG seems to prefer blitzing, man-to-man coverage. So who do you want filling those lanes? You want super fast guys that can get from A to B to C, the quarterback, in a hurry, flush them out of the pocket. We're done having mobile quarterbacks tear us apart. I also think that, this would be a good move for the Detroit Lions, putting those three up there.
All right, let's get to a couple comments before we get out of here. Y'all know we go fast paced on our live show. We do a half an hour and we get you in and get you out, get you ready for work. All right, Brent DeWeese says Joseph and Uku are bossed up. Uku had a harder time cracking the 53. I think we talked about this earlier, man, just because of the depth at defensive end. All right, after last few seasons, average is as an improvement. Don't know what that is comments to. Let's go and keep going. All right, yet you say Jonathan Owens is better than Revis. Ball IQ better than Nate is about as good as Nate Sudfeld. I like Jonathan Owens in the secondary. He's a backup guy. He's not a really big bossed up. I mean, he's not really a starter guy in the back of that Chicago secondary. He's a special teamer and he's a backup guy. Joseph definitely is a bossed up. All right, we got it first. Woo! But Coach Dan in the building, man. All right, buddy says, Coach, what up, Coach Dan? You know, we got the Duke crew in the building. Woo! Oh, man. Bonjour. Oh, my man, speak easy. What's going on, man?
Bonjour.
Bonjour and all that, man. What's up, Frenchie? What's going on, man? I hope he saves us from Sudfeld. Jake from State Farm.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. All right, DPJ. Yeah, need to set up. Agreed, Bo. I thoroughly thought DPJ would have progressed more by now. I'm not sure what's going on with him, man. He's still a young guy. I'm not sure of the why he's down. His play isn't better. He had a good start to his career in Cleveland. I just know what's going on with him. All right, Moonscar Blade says late to the show. Darn people work interrupting my fun. Bossed up baller. Let's roll. Okay, baby. We'll get to a few. Man, my man Avery from the Spirit of Detroit podcast is in the building, man. What's going on, Avery? Man, I appreciate you hopping on, man, and coming through. It's hooker time. Oh yeah, man. We talking about Hendon Hooker. We ain't talking about out there the streetwalkers, but anyway, Coach Dan, tell the people where they can find you and your illustrious show over there at Lions Talk Live.
Yeah, just come on over to Lions Talk Live. You can find us on YouTube or Facebook or whatever. Just go ahead. We're on the air every morning, 7 to roughly 8 a.m. every morning. So come on over, be a part of the Duke crew, hang out with Kurt the Hitman Steele, the living legend himself, 17-time world's heavyweight champion. I know he doesn't like to pump that up, but it is what it is. So yeah, come on over and be a part of the morning show.
Yeah, definitely, man. Great content over there on Lions Talk Live, man. Hey, do me a favor. Check out me and my guys over on on your favorite social media platforms. My man, Coach Mike Jones, the Wolverine Lion. Check out my man LL Cool Torrance, man. Definitely on Thursday. Go check him out, man. Today's Thursday, so make sure you go over and check him out, man. And give him a shout out on his Instagram page. And of course, you can follow me on X, Instagram, TikTok, and on Facebook, man. So much content going on, so much Lions talk, man. We appreciate you, man. Hey, give us a like, man. Like the video and share it with other Lions fans just like yourself. Be a part of the Boss Up family and go ahead and subscribe. Like I said at the beginning of this video, we're around 1679 on our way to 2,000 subscribers, man. And as many people as keep coming and watching and getting this video to more Lions fans just like yourself, we can be able to expand this channel and make it better for you guys, man. Hey, do me a favor. Whatever you're doing in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my special guest, my man Dan Thornton from Lions Talk Live, this is Kurt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon.